Hi, I'm James Shillinglaw, and I'm here today with a familiar face, John Diorio, who's the Vice President, North American Sales for Virgin Voyages. And we've talked with John a number of times, but we wanted to get an update on what was going on with Virgin Voyages today, especially as we're heading into wave season. So we're going to find out all about that and more on Insider Travel Report. John, first of all, great to see you. How are you doing?
I'm good, James. How you been?
I'm doing great. We've seen each other a few times over this course of this year, but
Yeah.
let's just go to the basics now. I mean, first, just describe Virgin Voyages today. How many ships do you have in the fleet, and where do they go?
Well, we've had an incredible journey, as you know, but as of right now, we have three beautiful lady ships sailing. And obviously, our fourth brilliant lady, which I see in your background, will start sailing next September out of New York. But four beautiful ships. We're sailing globally. Ironically, Scarlet Lady, which is our first lady ship, is actually in dry dock at the moment, and she'll be coming out of dry dock here relatively soon. And if you think about the fleet itself, we're going to have three ships in the Caribbean this winter. And then as we move into summer of 25, we'll have our two beautiful lady ships in the Med, doing Athens, doing Barcelona, some Portsmouth. We'll always have a ship in Miami doing our 4 and 5 nights. But then, as I mentioned, in September, Brilliant Lady joins the fleet. She's on an amazing tour doing New York, Canada, working her way down to Miami. We have our very first Panama Canal voyage in March, April of 2026. And then we'll have a little stint in Los Angeles. And then the big news, obviously, with Brilliant Lady is in May of 2026, we'll be sailing to Alaska from
Mhm.
Seattle. And all that inventory is on sale right now, with more inventory coming in the next few weeks to really get us on the shelf and through April of 2027.
Great. No, and now we're going to talk a little more about that Alaska
Yep.
cruise because that was
Yes.
very exciting when you announced it. Now, as I mentioned at the beginning, we are heading into the proverbial wave season, although
Yeah.
now it's become a season. I thought it was 3 months. Now it's 5 months. It just keeps going on. I mean, at least we seem to be almost done with Black Friday deals, but
Right.
that's another story. You actually have some great ones actually for Black
Really.
Friday. Now we're heading into wave season. What is Virgin Voyages doing for wave season, and what special deals do you have for your sailors who are your guests?
Yeah. So as we thought about Wave going into 2025, we obviously wanted to bring that promotion up a little closer to when others are really launching and when sailors are looking for those great opportunities. So our Wave offer officially started on November 13th, runs through the end of January, this first section of our Wave promotion. We're doing 80% off the second sailor.
Hmm.
And we're bringing back, based on popular demand, we're bringing back our bar tab to be included with all bookings for all open inventory. Up to $300 in bar tab will now be included in all new bookings as of November 13th. And I got to say, James, the response has been incredible. Because we've had such a good feedback from our first mate trade partners on the direction we were taking our wave promotion. They wanted to see that bar tab come back in a promotional environment,
Mhm.
and it's really, really helping. The booking volume over these past 2.5 weeks have been absolutely incredible, and we're extremely confident as we go into Q1.
Well, I'm sure glad you brought that bar tab back. That's why I'm going.
Well,
Now,
it is. And outside of that, I mean, you talked about Black Friday. We have a great Black Friday special going
yeah.
on right now. But the reality is, we are really excited for Wave. We've got some great promotions and said, and also we did a big price reset as well. We heard a lot of feedback from our sailors and our first mates about pricing, and we have a great pricing strategy in place right now where you can feel very confident the pricing you're booking today further out is the best deal you're going to get with Virgin Voyages. So book early.
Now, yeah, obviously, how can travel advisors really take advantage of all these great wave season deals
Sure.
and sell more Virgin Voyages?
Well, there's a couple ways, obviously, engaging really strongly with us. First and foremost, work with your sales managers. We've got a team in North America of 18 folks that are dedicated to working with our first mates based on where they live, regardless of where your agency is or your host. So definitely work with your sales manager. You find all of that on firstmates.com. If you're not signed up with us, it's very simple to get started with us. But I think the best way of learning to sell us and get ready for Wave is get into the program, do our training program, our C Academy training program, and then really start to engage with our sales team. They're there to help you. Thefirstmates.com has all of our content, all promotional information, thousands of great imagery that you can use to promote the brand on all itineraries globally.
Now, you mentioned earlier we were talking about Alaska, and yes, right behind me is Brilliant Lady, which will be your Alaska ship as well as your West Coast ship for a little while there. Now, you announced this actually last month in early November, and now you've how are sales looking for Alaska?
No, sales are looking really strong, especially after 2 weeks. If you think about our Alaska journey, we announced Alaska in May of this year, and we obviously had what we call the Frontier Season Pass, where if you bought that deposit ahead of time, you were one of the first to book. And that started at the end of October, where we launched that. But then Alaska went on sale to the public on November 13th as Wave started. And the first 2 weeks have been really strong. We love seeing those early bookings come in, and we know that we're going to have an amazing Alaska season. And so now is the time to get Alaska booked because we're seeing the demand come in nicely. And like I said, now is the best time to book. And those Wave promotions do apply to Alaska for 2026.
Now, I've been done a few Alaska cruises in my time, but I am very interested in how Voyages is going to do Alaska. I gotta imagine things will be a little different.
I think so. I mean, listen, with anything we do, we put that virgin twist to it. But all I can imagine, you think about when you see Alaska and you cruise Alaska, just imagine you being on our sea terraces on those exclusive red hammocks and just watching that amazing view in Alaska. Where else can you do that? I also think with Alaska, Brilliant Lady will be the newest ship in market at that time. And
Right.
so you get brand new hardware. It will have obviously incredible performances and entertainment and service on board. But having those hammocks sitting out there watching Alaska go by, I think it's going to be very, very special.
You've sold me on that. That sounds great. Now you got Alaska. Any other destinations you're going to offer next? Anything
No,
special?
that's a great question. We keep looking for what's next. Like I said, in a few weeks, we're going to launch winter 26, 27, and that'll give us, almost 2.5 years of inventory on sale, which is the first time we've had that much on sale. I wouldn't say nothing really new, James, but I will call out that as you look at our itinerary deployment for next year and into 26, we have a lot more longer voyages based on sailor feedback. So if you look at the Med next summer, we have actually 15 voyages that are 8 nights or longer. And that's the first time we've had that many long voyages based on what sailors want. Our repeat factor is so strong that they want different itineraries. So we've got an open jaw from Portsmouth up to Reykjavik next year, Reykjavik back to Amsterdam. So there's some great new itineraries that are longer itineraries. Even if you think about San Juan in Q1, towards the March, April timeframe, we've got two, a 10 and 11 night that go to Cartagena, Colombia. So
Hmm.
those longer itineraries have been really strong for us, and that's the uniqueness with our product that we've got more long itineraries than ever before.
And actually, you just mentioned a few ports that when your longer itineraries go to some very interesting and rather unique ports compared to what most cruise lines go to.
Well, listen, that's the beauty of having a boutique ship, right? I think that's the thing, right? We're not too big, we're not too small. The size of our ship is just right, and it allows us to go to those very unique destinations as well and keep that virgin vibe in place.
Now, we were talking earlier, Virgin Voyages also focuses really on the value proposition it offers to your sailors, your guests. Uh, Other cruise lines may be cutting back a bit and adding in costs and things like that. How is Virgin only enhancing the experience and the value proposition when sailors come aboard?
Listen, we've been laser focused since day one on making sure that value proposition is strong for our sailors. That's why they're going to come back. And so obviously it's what we include in that voyage fare. Obviously it's all of our food, it's the entertainment, it's the Wi-Fi, it's the gratuities, your group workout classes. We are such a strong believer that you shouldn't pay more leaving a cruise before getting on a cruise. And so our CEO is laser focused on making sure that onboard experience stays very strong without nickel and diming our sailors when they come on board.
No, and that's a great way to go. I mean, I've always made people are looking for more all-inclusiveness in their cruise.
They
Absolutely.
are. Yeah, and listen, what we do see, James, is even with that inclusive value proposition, the onboard revenue is strong. And what we love is that those sailors are paying for things they want to do. We call those happy dollars. They're gladly would pay that money to go see our different experiences on board the ship. So it's a win-win for everybody.
Now, Virgin Voyages is really known, obviously, as kind of a cutting edge and very innovative company. Now, what else are you doing that is kind of fun and exciting outside of all those new itineraries we talked about?
Well, listen, we've for the past 2+ years, we've had our groundbreaking Let's Go book technology out there where every advisor gets their own URL to promote us on virginvoyages.com. So we've seen our first mate partners really lean into that over the past 2 years. So as the website continues to be updated and enhanced for conversion, our first mates get the benefit of that through that Let's Go book link. The next key thing we're rolling out here in the next month is a updated groups program, our circles and groups program. We announced that last week on board Resilient Lady that we had here in Miami for a 2-night trade event, and the response has been overwhelming. So we have a new groups program launching that we're very, very excited about, and we know that's going to help drive even more business for our first mate partners.
And indeed, groups are where it's at. If you
There's
can
that.
sell groups, you're going to make a lot of money.
Yep.
And now, where can you mentioned earlier the place where travel advisors can go, firstmates.com, and learn more about Virgin Voyages. Are there any other resources they can turn to?
That's the key one. I think that's everything kind of leads from there. You can also go to brilliantforyou.com where all kinds of information, terms and conditions, how to do business with us. But if you're not with us yet, firstmates.com is where you go to sign up. It's where you go to book. And we're lots of great content there.
Fantastic. Well, John, great to see you. I'm sure I'll see you in the coming year a few
I'm
times.
sure.
And we'll talk more about what's going on. Very exciting to hear all the great things. And you have the upcoming Brilliant Lady, which will be going to Alaska, and
You
that
will.
sounds absolutely amazing. Again, great. Thanks for taking the time to speak with us today, and good luck. We'll see you soon.
Thanks, James. Take care.
I'm James Shillinglaw, and this is Insider Travel Report.